an institution in our society. It is a civil agreement. Every country has their own law. As far as we are concerned, the Indian government has enacted Hindu Marriage Act 1955. As per this act, entire marriage system in India, either it is Christian, Muslims, and Hindus, this is now binding on all of us, which is basically stipulates there should be minimum age for both boy and girl. That's the number one condition. Number two, they should be physiologically competent to procreate. And third one, they should not fall in the some sapindas, no pindas system, where certain matches are prohibited. So with these three conditions fulfilling, one can enter the marriage. As for astrology, we have an institution in India, and Jyotish Shastra has given very clear picture about the matching of horoscopes and before the marriage. Basically, if you see the larger perspective, one should understand the horoscopes, both horoscope boy and the girl, then their dasha sequence, their transit sequence, then comes to the matching of the points. Normally, what happens? The system people will immediately follow. Everybody follows. How many points you get it? The point system is only one aspect of the total matching. The students of astrology, students of Jyotishastra should understand basically while they are matching horoscope, quota matching, Gana matching is only one character out of all the remaining characters. What are the remaining characters? They are basically natal system, dasha system, transits. Apart from that, the longevity of both the couples and their strength of the partners and all the basic tendencies of natal horoscopy has to match before you finally agree for a marriage match and finally accept the match. So with this thing, we have very, very venerable speakers today. The first speaker, lead speaker is Vani Madam from Hyderabad, Secunderabad. She will take 20-25 minutes and other two speakers will follow. With these few words of introduction, I request Vani Madam to take the session forward.
So everyone knows, even a Pravina student knows what is a Navamsa. So what is a Navamsa and why it should be given importance? Can't we see everything in the natal chart? That 7th house is there for marriage. Can we see only from the 7th house? And why is Navamsa required? If a natal chart is like a multi-storied building, so you can get an overview of everything in the birth chart. But if you want to look into different floors, whether the water problem is there, drainage problem is there in the particular floor, so you have to enter into the floor and see. You can't take a snapshot of the building and see everything. So that is the reason we need to look out into different divisional charts for the specific events. So why 9th house only? Why Navamsa only? And what is marriage? Sir has beautifully explained what is the marriage and marriage rules in India. Thank you so much, sir. So Hindu marriage is an important event. So it is not just for a boy and girl getting together and producing children or for sexual enjoyment, but it is for the fulfillment of 4 Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So Dharma is whatever you do, whatever right is called as Dharma, and Artha is your financial positions, and Kama is the physical desires, and Moksha is the liberation. So Dharma is the foundation of the marriage. Dharma is more important here. And Dharma is seen from the 9th house. So in the natal chart also, 9th house represents Dharma, and 1/9 division is called as Navamsa. So what is the importance of 7th house? Why we are giving 7th house as house? Fruits of Dharma are shown from the, that is 11th from 9th is 7th bhava. So that is the reason in the natal chart we see 7th bhava, but Navamsa D9 we see to see specifically. Yes, sir. Inauspicious Navamsas. Some Navamsas are not good. Let us discuss that too. And we'll take the example charts and also do at the ending. So let me finish the theory part first. So each Navamsa measures 3 degrees 20 minutes and the zodiac sign comprises 108 Navamsas. So in that, from the bride, if you count 88th Navamsa is bridegroom's Navamsa is 88. If you count from the bride, it is inauspicious. Such marriage should never be matched. And one more Navamsa is 108th. When counted from the bride should be avoided. And at the time of Panigraha, 55th Navamsa, there should not be any planet in 55th Navamsa. So these things should be taken care at the time of marriage, matching or muhurta. And what are the significations of houses with respect to D9? Are they same as D1? So what does the first house represents in the Navamsa chart? So first house tells about the personality of the person, how is his health, whether he has a desire for marriage or not. If first house itself, it is totally afflicted, like Napunsak planets are there, Mercury is there, Saturn is there, and other malefic planets are aspecting. So the person himself will not have the desire of marriage. So first house tells whether the desire of marriage is there or not. And the strength of the marriage, how long, the same karakatas, but applying specifically related to marriage. And it also tells us about the karma that is carried forward from the past life. Second house. What is second house? First house I already told. And second house. Second house is 8th from 7th. So it tells us about your family, samskaras, values, wealth after marriage, longevity factors of the union, and also secret affairs, because it is 8th, anything 8th is secret. So 7th ninchi it is 8th. From 7th it is 8th. So second house also tells us about the secret affairs. In the Navamsa chart, it is not in the natal chart. And longevity factors of the union, wealth after marriage. So all these things are seen. Samskaras is the most important one from the second house, because the same chart for the person who is born in India, and if the same person is born in US, if you see, you cannot say that this person will stick to only one girl. It is very difficult there, where they believe in relationships. Like my first relationship was very good. It lasted long for 10 years, and second was only for 3 months. So they keep on telling like this. So samskaras. So the chart, Desh, Kal, Patra, we have to see. So as per the Indian tradition, we have to give the prediction for Indians, and for US citizens, as per their rules, we have to give. So samskaras are also important. Second house also tells us about the samskaras. In third house is 8th to 8th. So third house is one of the karma houses. 3, 7, 11 are karma houses. So third house is spiritual karma, and it is also the courage. So what type of courage is required here? So one should also have the courage to get married or to sustain the relationship, or to be with the wife. So this courage is also very important. To propose a girl or to be by the side of the girl is also very important. So third house is also very important in Navamsa. And unconventional attachment, because Mercury is the third lord in Kalapurusha chart, that is KTC's Kalapurusha chart. So it tells, third house tells us about the unconventional attachments, that is spiritual karma. See, like a girl can like girl, or 100 years guru, a student, or like 16 years girl can also like 100 years, because this is just spiritual karma, not physical. And fourth house is at most important here. Fourth house tells us about the happiness in the marriage. So you got married, whether you are happy in your marriage or not, comforts after marriage. And fifth house is love and romance. So it is not just the children. Children can be seen from fifth house in the natal chart and in Saptamsa chart. But coming to the D9, in D9, fifth house represents your love and romance. How much, like how are you with your husband? traveling together, playing games together. So all these things are seen from the 5th house. 6th house. 6th house is 12th from 7th. So what is 6th house in general? Runa, Roga, Shatru. So arguments in any marriage relationship, some arguments will definitely be there. But if arguments are there also, how quickly you can resolve and how about the deaths after marriage are seen from the 6th house. And 7th house personality and socially accepted life partner. Here 7th house is agreement. So with whom legal bondage is there. So that is 7th house, your physical relationship, compromise in marriage. So what we actually destined, 7th house is socially accepted partner. And coming to 8th house. 8th house is called as Patal Lok. That is Mangalya Sthan. What is inside it, you don't know. And like suddenly you go to in-laws house and longevity of marriage is also seen. Here, not the longevity of the spouse, but longevity of the marriage is seen from the 8th house in D9 chart. And joint assets, accumulated wealth is seen from the 8th house. 9th house, spiritual inclination, father, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and second marriage is seen from the 9th house. 10th. 10th is the reputation of married couple and mother-in-law. What is reputation of married couple means how pride they feel when they go, husband and wife, when they go to a party, and how proudly she says that, oh, my husband is an IAS officer, IPS officer, or my wife is a professor here. So what type of reputation you carry with you is the 10th house tells what type of social status you want to show before the public. You are showing what the public thinks about your marriage is 10th house. And 11th house, 5th from 7th. So 5th house is emotions, emotional bondage, friendship between the couple. 11th house is friendship and friendship between the couple and fulfillment of desires, gains through spouse are seen from the 11th house. So 12th house, 12th is 6th from 7th. So bed pleasures and it can be like a good sleep without anxiety and stress, conflicts in relationship, marriage in foreign land or foreign partner. So all these things can be seen from the 5th house. So in Navamsa, each and every house tells us about your partner. So for marriage matching, you in your chart itself, how will be your marriage, you can see. So no, before matching itself, you can know what type of partner you will get and all the levels, like what status you will have after marriage, what debts you will have, what income you will have, everything can be seen from the Navamsa. So this is the transit time in Navamsa. But when you're depending totally on Navamsa, be sure that the time is correct. Because Lagna changes 15 minutes to 14 minutes. In 15 minutes to 14 minutes, but sometimes it could be just 1 minute gap or even some seconds. See, all the other planets might not change so quickly, like Sun takes 3.3 days, Moon takes 6.5 hours, and so on. But Lagna shifts. When Lagna shifts, all the house Karakatvas will be shifting. So when you are looking into the Navamsa, be sure that the timing is right. And now it is a fast food generation time. So these are two small principles from Saral Jyotish. Like how can you, so marriage matching is like no match is 100% perfect, even though if you get 36 out of 36 and all the other parameters cannot be matched. But the marriage has to be carried forward. At least in India, it is must. So what will you check for the marriage to be carried forward? Because marriage is not just a relationship between the husband and wife. It is between two families. Your children, your elders, all are dependent on you. If the couple divides, then whole family gets disturbed. So will the marriage be carried forward or not? For this thing, first check Jupiter dispositor, Lagna Lord of Navamsa, condition of the dispositor, relation of Lagna Lord with Jupiter dispositor. So these are the important factors. I'll take an example and explain them again. And how happy they are in the marriage. Whether you are able to carry forward the marriage is different. Are you happy in the marriage is also different. Why fourth house? Because Bhava, for any Bhava, Bhavesh is the Karta of that house. So what is the meaning of Karta? Suppose if you are taking Dasamsa chart, fourth house tells us about the happiness of your profession, that is karma. Happiness in your profession is seen from Dasamsa chart. Saptamsa chart, happiness from the children is seen from the fourth house in Saptamsa chart. And happiness of your parents is seen in Dvadasamsa chart, fourth house of Dvadasamsa chart. And in the Navamsa chart, you see like how happy you will be in your life. We'll take some examples and I'll be explaining that simple, easy formula, whether the marriage will survive or not. This is one example of the husband. So in the chart, okay. In the chart, Jupiter dispositor is Mercury. Lagna is like in D1 chart, we are not concerned about D1, but here D1 ascendant is Jupiter and Jupiter dispositor is Mercury. And Navamsa Lagna Lord is Jupiter. Condition of the dispositor in D9. So who is the dispositor here? Mercury. How is he placed? He is placed in the own house along with malefics and benefics. Both are there. Like Jupiter is also there and Mercury is in the own house but retro, and Mars and Rahu are also there. Relationship of between Mercury and Jupiter, because Lagna Lord and the Jupiter dispositor we are checking here. So how is the relationship? They are one by one, like both are together in one house. So it is almost 70% matching. So as per the rule, the husband will be able to carry forward the relationship. And fourth house and fourth lord, Gemini and Mercury. From Navamsa Lagna is Pisces, and fourth house and fourth lord are Mercury. So Mercury is posited in Mercury house. Jupiter is also there, but Mars, Rahu are also there. Some disturbances will be there. But overall, I can say like 60 to 70% happy married life, because the planet is in the own house along with Jupiter is also there. Rahu, Mars will be giving some fights in between, but he will be able to, his happiness will be like more than average. Now this is the husband's chart. In the husband's chart itself, we have seen like how his life will be. And coming to the wife's chart, the same principles if we apply. The Jupiter dispositor, where is the Jupiter? Is in Taurus. Jupiter dispositor is Venus, and Navamsa Lagna Lord is Saturn. So condition of the dispositor, how is Venus placed in D9? Venus placed in Moon house, and Jupiter is aspecting Venus. In Lagna, Jupiter is Navamsa Lagna, Jupiter is there, and Jupiter is aspecting Venus, and Moon is also with Venus. So quite happy marital life, and even she will be able to carry forward her marital life. So whether she is happy or not, again see from the fourth house and fourth lord. So fourth house is Aries, fourth house is empty, but Saturn is aspecting fourth house. What are the planets aspecting are also important, and no Jupiter aspect on fourth house. And fourth lord is in sixth house, that is from Lagna he went to sixth house. So not so good, but like as I said, it is like 60%, just above happiness will be there, above average happiness will be there. And this couple are married from past 21 years. And okay, in spite of some small issues, they are leading a happy marital life. Now this has been we have seen both the charts independently only based on Navamsa. We have not matched Navamsa. The Navamsa itself tells us about your wife or husband. Then we can other things we can check, like not from Navamsa, But from the natal chart, there are other three important factors we can check are the compatibility is good, but in which areas it is good. Spiritually, they are good, or technically, they are good in financials, or in like a business friends, or in sexual matters, they are happy. So there are three concepts like bhakti, yukti, and rakti. So this principle has been taught to us by Rajamanikyam sir. And like for bhakti, we see sun in the female chart and moon in the male chart. How are they posited? Like they are in trines, they are in friendly houses, or 6 bar 8 or 2 bar 12. So this tells us about how is their spiritual inclination. And yukti is intelligence. Like their planning of marriage is not just for sexual this thing. So yukti is how you are going to plan your household things, how much budget you are keeping for your children education, or for commodities, or for parents. So these type of planning, how much they are together. And rakti is Mars in female house, female chart, and Venus in male chart tells us about the sexual compatibility. So which areas they are good, which areas we can see. I always say marriage matching, we cannot say that this after matching, however perfect, however you have seen, we cannot say the marriage will sustain and they will keep their long relationship, because in like in present society, it is highly difficult. Even though the matching is good, one transit and dasa is not good. So they get separated, and coming back will become difficult. And in India, it is still okay. But in other areas, what is even if the matching is good? So the transit time, when it is not good, they get separated. And dasa period also is important. So the best thing we can do is marriage counseling is much more important at the time of marriage, or even after the marriage. When they get some problems, when they come to astrologer, we should give the proper counseling. So for the counseling, all these things we require. So the same example chart I have taken. First chart is husband chart and second chart is wife's chart. So if we check Bhakti, sun in the wife's chart, sun is in Gemini, and in husband, moon chart, moon is in Capricorn. So moon and sun are 6 bar 8. That means their relationship in the, like a wife wanted to do some vratam and he does not like that one. So she asked him to will visit some pilgrimage and he will not be ready for it, or he will ask and she might not be ready. So in bhakti, their compatibility is not good. But coming to yukti, Jupiter is wisdom and Mars is intelligence. So wisdom of wife, that is Jupiter, is in Taurus, and Mercury of husband is in Virgo, that is in exalted, and Jupiter is also there. So, but here coming to the yukti, Taurus and Virgo, they are 5 bar 9. So in this compatibility, they have very good relationship and both are well placed. Coming to Rakti, wife Mars is in Leo and husband Venus is also in Leo. So Venus is falling on Mars. So that physical attraction is good between them. So here 100 points have come for the couple. So in Bhakti, Yukti, Rakti, at least two aspects should be good. Then the marriage will go smoothly. If not in one thing, so when they come for the counseling, we can say, don't force him or her to do pujas. Whoever is more spiritual, we can counsel them. If it is in the issues of yukti, so don't interfere in financial things. We can just suggest them. So these type of counseling we can give if we know these factors. These are the three very important factors. And in modern days, this has become more popular, like Atmakaraka and Dharakaraka. Is he my soulmate or not? Or she my soulmate or not? So this is a Gemini concept. Atmakaraka is the planet which is in highest degrees. and Dharakaraka is the planet in lowest degrees. So the relationship will be good when her Atmakaraka is his Dharakaraka, or her Atmakaraka is his Lagna Lord, or vice versa, or seventh and Lagna are having some relationship